Okay. Wally, we'll come to you first. Congratulations, new job. You're the boss of Hurling. It is all your fault if it was horribly wrong from last year. Since you started the job yet?
Starting the first week of April. So I suppose just getting working time out of the 24 unit healthcare. And so I suppose just looking and seeing and talking to people. Brilliant to be here today. And massive job. And I suppose my baseline and my motivation for this is my love of hurling. And we all, we're all ingrained in GAA here, football, hurling, whatever that is. But that's my baseline. That's what I love, that's what I care about. I've been involved in a lot of teams as regards from small clubs in Tipperary, Ballingarry, went through the St. Kieran's College, Kilkenny, played with Tipperary in their age. Then I was lucky enough to manage underage teams going back 10, 12 years ago to All-Ireland success as well. So I suppose I've got a lot of experience. I love the game.
Turn down being a Dublin coach.
I was wondering when that would come up. Just background and clarity on that. We're after winning the minor All-Ireland with Tip as manager in 2012, and I got Anthony offered me the opportunity to go to Dublin, and it was a regret of mine now because they were so successful, and I suppose working with this man would have been an experience. But look, really excited about the role. Haven't started yet, but again, looking forward to putting structures in place across the country. And again, we have 3 different areas because working with the HTC over the last while under the chairmanship of Terry Riley from Belfast, who apologises. He's at a management meeting in Croke Park last night and another engagement today. But huge appetite. Jared is fully behind it as well. So look, exciting times for hurling, and I'm just delighted to get the opportunity.
So you're listening to people. You have 100 people in your ear. You want to listen to those people as well, most of them presumably. But if you could call it now, what are the 1 or 2 things that you think would be right? That's the priority list.
I think it's different situations for different places. Like again, tier 1 counties, tier 2 counties, tier 3 counties. Everybody's a different situation, but we're all in different environments. I think this was club education, obviously massive. New clubs and I suppose support for existing clubs really important as well. So they're the 2 things that I suppose I hang my hat on now. But again, I think we've learned an awful lot from the Football Review Committee, and we've gone through the rules there under Jim Gavin's stewardship. But he really got the process right as regards of understanding what, I suppose everybody, there was 7,000 stakeholders sent back feedback to him. So it wasn't Jim Gavin's plan, it was football's plan. So look, I think it's important to have the same for hurling as regards to engage as many people and get as much feedback as we can get before we move forward with the plan.
Okay, so are you confident you'll get that? Because I think that was very impressive to say, and maybe Jim Gavin being Jim Gavin, Jesus, I'm going to put something in here and give me tuppence pence worth. Is that something you want from hurling people?
I think so, yeah. We all have to own this. None of us own the game. And I'm very fortunate enough to get the position here to lead hurling and suppose lead hurling strategy and development into the future. So look, we're all involved in this. We're all GAA people. We all love, I suppose, the games that we play and the communities that are involved in it. So I think it's important to drive it forward as regards in a structured way and give hurling a plan as regards across again tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 counties. Hurling is an amazing place, and I spoke to you about this during the week. Coming out of the All-Ireland last year, no dog in the game as regards Clare Park, but it was absolutely high on life going back down the road after experiencing something I'd never experienced before. It was unbelievable. Again, Clare very, very worthy winners, but what a spectacle. We have an amazing game, so it's a case of getting out there and pushing that, and putting a structure in place that kids all over the country get the opportunity to play our national game.
From your perspective, Anthony, born and bred and dying in the womb, what do you think that this man needs to be looking at?
Well, as you know, Tom, we wouldn't have as successful as one as you know, but our podcast would be a fair. It'd be all hurling.
That's good, sir.
Stop. All hurling.
Can I just interrupt there? I'm the only one with no successful podcast, so that might be something for hurling.
Archie McConnell was once a leash trainer. That gives us enough license. I was an underage Labby hurler, but so we're scraping it. But this is the thing. And I think
I'm glad I missed the whole thing about the football rules because I don't understand.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely going to make my way over to Hughes Park to watch Clare against somebody in Division 3 in the league, just to see can I see how they're going to handle it.
And I'm commentating on Derry against Tyrone next weekend on the BBC, and I don't understand it, which is a cause for concern. But look, it's great to see it. It's required. We'll kind of see how it goes. But from a hurling perspective,
Obviously in the bar, working a few hours, and lads in last Monday evening, and of course the first thing they said was, "What's wrong with the rules of football? Eric Kilkeer, Dr. Cloaks, good games we saw in 20 years. It's gas, isn't it?" It's just, but we all know, I suppose, watching it doesn't change. Yeah, look at that's probably it was a short list of 2 in the country. 1 maybe. I'd have thought Willie would have been a great choice. I didn't ask him. I wouldn't have known as much about Willie as my sidekick Richie Statham. Great tip, Clare, captain, Lee, and we were looking for something to freshen it. We felt we had won the league. There was a Leinster in us, maybe not Ireland. The teams were coming together with a few younger players, and we arranged to beat the boy. We had a great meeting, and I don't think he was a mile away from coming. And Richie had made a value of him, and every time I've met him since, the love of the game, so I think we've made a great choice. What I would say is the last 2 guys that fulfil the roles are fantastic individuals. To me, Paddy Butler and being his company for a half an hour would do you good. To keep you going for 48 hours nearly, because he's just Martin Fogarty, maybe not quite the character that Paddy was, but also a fanatic. But I have often quoted on the pod, Tom, that we don't need another John the Baptist. And I felt the 2 boys were kind of like John the Baptist, off on their own. Honestly, I went to Croke Park for a meeting after Paddy Butler with a high-ranking official, and I said, "What's the plan here? If I took on this role, if it's available." I just finished with Dublin. There was no plan, as far as I could see. Now, I'd say this time round, there's been a lot of talk. I'd say there's good plans. The Jarlath's right behind it. So I would trust the man on my right here that he knows what's needed. One guy can't do it. One guy can't take off. I'm only just going to pick out a county now. It's in Sligo. And say I'm going to spend the week in Sligo Park Hotel, and I'm going to do how many clubs in Sligo and Hurling? 4. And I'm going to do 2 sessions each. And you're gone again, you don't see Sligo for 4 or 5 months. It needs to come from the ground up. I think Willie's totally aware of that. I think we'll get that. I think it'll be a great appointment, and I'm dying to just see it coming like that. And I'd love just to say it to you now publicly, we'd love to have you on the pod someday. Just when you're into the role, maybe, and just to talk and see, because TJ and Mark have been passionate about the whole direction. It's very funny. We had Adrian Moore, Westmeath man, who was managing the Longford Hurlers for the last few years. Adrian, great guy, makes some hurleys. Westmeath hurling very strong, mid-tier, I suppose. And with Mark being a Cork man, Killa in McKilly said to Adrian, he said, "Well, the county final will be between so and so, so and so, and so and so." Now, some years they'd play a round robin, he'd say it would have to go and score and aggregate between the 3 teams. "What about junior and intermediate then? Who would be the strong clubs there?" He said, Lander said to him, "There is no junior and intermediate." He said, and Lander still to this day says to me, "We're still taking it back." But they don't. The Cork, Hurling, the tiniest places, the crowds at North Cork League games in junior is incredible. So there's different challenges involved, and that I think Willie's well aware of that. So I think that's what we need. We don't need another John the Baptist.
John the Baptist there you go, we'll use that one. It's a very important point though, because there will always be a healthy dose of scepticism and in journalism. You should have that, fundamentally, you should have that. And we'll see whether the GAA back you in your role. I don't doubt the ambition is there to do it, but we'll see. We will see is probably what we'll say for that. I suppose up in this part of the world, we don't have a provincial championship. You have people here who are mad about hurling, there have people here in front of us. And you have also people here, interestingly, who are into football. I'm probably not exposed to hurling, but will sit down absolutely and watch the latter stages of the All-Ireland and thoroughly enjoy it. I come from a football club, there's 8 GAA clubs in 4 miles of our pitch, no hurling clubs. I hurled for a club called Daly, which are about 5 or 6 miles outside Maher. My best friend in school is about Dalton McGill from there. But it goes really hard for somebody from Maher, who was in the right club football-wise to Labby, to walk into Labby changing room as an 11-year-old. Now, I'm not over-dramatising, but like, that's a difficult thing to do. So if you're looking at this parish up here, and I don't want to localise it too much, how can we get more people invested in hurling in a meaningful way?
I think it's very much building the opportunities for people. That's the bottom line. I had a conversation at work the other day with my direct boss, and he's from Kildare, great GAA man, great football man. And he said, I never got the opportunity to hold hurling. And like, Jesus, like that hit me, and I'm not being emotive in any way, but like, it's not good enough in our country as regards. The GAA is so strong, the GAA is, we're so passionate about it, it's in all our communities, be it hurling or be it football in particular up in this part of the world, but I think it's just giving the kids the opportunity. Just on the point of being, I suppose, Martin and Paulie before me having, being John the Baptist type roles going around the country, this is going to be a very different position. This is going to be a more strategic position. It's going to be aligning the resources that we have through games and development, through the Ulster Council and the other provincial councils, right down to county board level, trying to, I suppose, give people the structures to allow them to play. There's lots of, I suppose, barriers to hurling. Helmets are expensive, hurlers are expensive. It's a very difficult game. Like, it's a very difficult game to master. Until you master it, it's hard. It's hard to enjoy it. I see it with my own kids. They're playing, they're 8, 9 and 12. And like, it's difficult to get. And once you get it, it clicks and they're absolutely delighted with themselves. So I think it's using the resources that are there through games and development in this part of the world through Ulster Council to see, can we try something different. Okay, so if that's in your instance as regards having to go to a different club to play, yeah, we'll try that. We'll try. We're not in competition with each other. Like, we're not, like, hurling and football are, they're brother and sister. I managed a minor team to the Clare All-Ireland in 2012. We were after winning the minor football All-Ireland the year before in 2011. We had 14 junior players the year after. Like, it can't be done with communication and talk in this regards of what's best for the player, managing them within an inch of their lives in this regards. And we had a great talk from Kevin and Sharon beforehand on the detail of that management. But again, it can't be done. So putting structures in place, using the resources that are there through games and development across the provinces, making people accountable for what they're doing, but overall giving kids the opportunity to play our national game. Because look, you see the effort as regards, the quality of Shockmeal, Portaferry, Cushendall. I see Gregory there from Dunloy. There's a lot of quality teams in the north here. As again, if we could get a few more, if we could, whatever way we're going to work it, as regards, could we break down county boundaries? Could we do things that are, I suppose, radical to a lot of us as regards to the GAA? But I think this needs radical thinking. I think it has the support of, I suppose, the hierarchy within the association. So, look, exciting times ahead. Looking forward to getting going. Looking forward, I suppose, to speaking to people in a more meaningful basis, getting real feedback on what we need to do. But look, huge opportunity to drive hurling here, and we have to do it.
I mean, you said something that's very interesting there. It cut a chord with you, with your, you said your boss from Kildare, and he never had the opportunity to hold the hurl. It feels like a sin to actually say something like that. I mean, would that not be a great starting point? To temporarily remove the expense. Every child in this country goes to school. What's to prevent them, somebody giving that child the hurl the ball? They may never use it, they may drop it, and that's fine.
I'll know on that, but we're going to charge them a $5 now to get in to see National League games.
Yeah.
Don't forget that either.
Geez, you're an angry man this morning, Anthony. Yeah.
I'll tell you a good one about it, Tom. I'm from Clare Castle, like 14 Clare Championships on Munster Club. Massive tradition. Now, we would have all played football, 2 intermediate Clare football medals. So, 25 years ago, I got an opportunity to go back to West Clare. And you know the geography of West Clare now. You go past Spanny O'Dee's pub in Lissygazy, which are also a football club. There is no hurling. Colin Lynch came from there. Colin would be nearly a better footballer than hurler. He was that good at football as well. So no hurling back there at all. Nothing. So this is 2000. The local priest is from Rouen, little village up the road, Kilbell. The teacher's dad had played for Kilkenny, primary school teacher. Carmel Coughlin, great lady, just retired there lately now. Still meet her at the shop, we talk hurling. But she had fell in love with a West Clare man in New York and had came back and was a teacher. Well, anyway, started in under 12 hurling. She had taught them the basics, very basic now. I arrived up to the school pitch. I was still hurling with Clare for 3 more years actually afterwards. So there was a bit of a buzz with me being involved because we recently won the All-Ireland, fair enough. When we started off and I said, Jesus, Peter, he was the priest. We never made 50 hurlers of these. I said, you couldn't, like. We stayed at it. We won a 12E, which was the very lowest level you could be in. We proceeded to win a 14D, with them getting better. David Tupperty, great Clare footballer, just retired, wing forward. Was a better footballer than a hurler. We'll say that. Proceeded to a C, which is starting to get serious in Clare. You're meeting maybe the Islas, the Fecals, who are now county champions, because they wouldn't have the numbers, you know? So, win the C, and we make the ultimate move to go minor B, which is getting up there then with Crushines, maybe a Rogue Guinness, could be in B, Ballier. And we're beaten in the semi-final, and our best lad, centre-back, definitely our best lad. His father had got a bad cancer diagnosis, and the whole thing weighed on him. He had to take over the farm, he was only 18, he wouldn't play. And I've no doubt we would have won the B, which only meant one thing: Kilmehel, Hurling were going minor A. So the football club were beginning to rail against it. They were worried. And we were drawn off about 6 football clubs. It was Kilmehel pitch we were using and their facilities. So I called a bit of a meeting of vested interests. Marty Morrissey's hurling club would be a crowd called Clonbunny. They'd be great old crowd, Derek Lynch, they'd be fanatics. And Marty was actually a decent goalie in hurling. He went to Flanders, I suppose, that would be an advantage. But anyway, we got a few vested interests together, and I said, lads, could we form a hurling club back here? I said, I'm after building a house, the pub is up and running. I'll chair the club for the first couple of years, and I'll train the team. I guarantee you we'll be intermediate within 2 years. These guys, who were 18, we're on 19, and with what's coming behind them, we'll be senior within 5, 6. Seniors, are you serious? I said, I'm deadly serious. Now I got back involved in my own club this year as a kind of a supervisor to the coaches. I live 20 miles away, and the bar, and between the media commitments, it is, but I've agreed to go back in, we're having a meeting next week. But you commit to doing that. Once you commit to doing that, I think the biggest thing to be is, first of all, organised. So they come in, they see you, and they know, you got your stopwatch, your whistle, you're ready. So you come in, they see you're not ready, straight away you lose them. It's always my attitude. But you want to be there nearly as much as they do. They're the ones playing. And I think after that then, I was just saying it outside to Mickey and Tony outside. I was listening to a pod on the way up. I think it was an American collegiate basketball coach on, was flicking over and back different pods. He was saying, so much going on in life. He said, if I get them in the gym, they could be flunking college. He said, parents could be splitting up. If I can get them for those 90 minutes in the gym to just be basketball players, just block out. And how many of our hurlers do we see having weak moments, footballers? And we're wondering, is that your mind is a powerful thing? So I just think coaching, you just say, lads, we're here for an hour. And I was always a bit of a believer in the hour. We won't be doing half time today because we're training. We'll do the hour. You stay with me for the hour. Fine, off home, gone, see you again, get out and get your own few pucks in. I just think, if there's a buzz off you, you'll get the buzz back off them. And some people don't naturally have a buzz. They can find it for an hour. You can find it for an hour. You can watch last year's All-Ireland the night before and say, oh, Jesus, I might make them score Tony Kelly's goal, but we can try it. We can do one-on-ones with the goalie for 15 minutes and have a bit of crack. And bring fun into training is the other thing. Because I think this sometimes, I remember having underage coaches with Clarecastle, and we're deadly serious about trying to win minor A's, 14 A's, 12 A's, fail the A's, but there was no fun with some of them. And it's the guy that I could go in and he could take the piss, and I know we live in a more PC world now, but take the piss in a lovely way, and have a bit of crack as well, and make the lad do 5 press-ups if he's done something silly. Do you know what? You had us all up there now. We're not collecting slippers behind the goal. Just give us 5 press ups there and the lads count them out for you. Those little things I always found worked for me. I haven't coached quite a bit, except the odd session here and there, but during my time, and I was down in Kilmiley in Kerry, a lot of you know that part of North Kerry, a lot of you play down there, tough games. 8 clubs, expanding now, Tralee been powerful, Tralee Purnells. Like, to go down and coach Kilmiley the first night, didn't know what I'd find. What was the standard going to be like? And then I met Shane Brick, and Horsey could definitely tell him what Shane Brick could have played with any county in Ireland at the time. I just totally committed to this thing, and he's buzzing as I'm walking in the gate. And then I'm saying, "Oh, you're Shane Brick, are you?" Seeing just the reaction. And he's like, "Thanks for coming down." Like, I just people feed off people. I think if you can try and bring that to the equation, you're going a long, long way, even if they're kids.
And I suppose just on that point, like, we can have all the plans we want, we can get all the feedback we want, it's people that will operationalise it. And if people are not getting that buzz off being involved, and I can relate to that what Anthony's saying there, like, no more than anyone here, I love going out to the field on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night. That's what you do. It's what you do in a lot of rural Ireland as regards that's part of your life. That's what you grew up doing, going to matches, experiencing that, being part of communities, being jealous of the teams tomorrow now. Errigal, Kieran, Kula, Nafina. Like, it's special when you get that, I suppose, reaction from what Anthony is saying there, the collective pulling it together. I was being involved with Laois last year and I've been fortunate enough to manage them. Like, going to Crow Park and going to experience big days, knowing that the work is done, which is the real big thing is what Anthony is saying there, retraining. I think the game it's changed an awful lot as regards tactics, actual coaching, what we do every night as regards be it whatever 3v2s or line of sight passing or whatever that is, but seeing that come off in the big games it's special. Just I suppose an example of that, we were a point down in McDonagh final last year against Offaly. John Lennon broke the line, racing towards the goal, got his head up. From a coaching perspective, we did a huge amount of work on line of sight passing and 3v2s and 4v2s and being able to execute on the day under pressure. Just again, doing it so much that it becomes natural. John got his head up, just about to hit the pass or scored a point. We were a point down. Referee from Antrim calls back, steps, free out, beating the McDonagh final. But just talking to John afterwards in regards, John, what were you thinking when you got your head up? He says, we had a 3v2 and I was going to hit a pass to the right. We were going to win the McDonagh final. But like again, just that kind of, I suppose, satisfaction from what you do on the field, how you train a team, and it coming off. It didn't work out for us on the day and we were all absolutely on the ground. But to hear that from him kind of gave me some solace in what we were doing was right. And so I think being organised, bringing energy, having a plan, but it's the actual operationalising that. Like, you have to be, as Anthony said there, if you're not right for that hour, at least you shouldn't be doing the job. You know, you have to make yourself right for that. That's part of what we all do. But look, it's something that, again, it's ingrained in all of us. It's coaching and developing. It's great to see such a brilliant crowd here today. Everyone looking to learn. And again, I think it's a real positive around the GAA. We're always open to look at what other sports are doing, what other people are doing, what we can learn. And that's, I suppose, being very much part of a coach. But look, yeah, that's it.
Brilliant. And if you can't find the buzz, if you don't have the buzz, find it. I love that. Folks, anybody any questions before we wrap it up with the two gents up here? Any questions whatsoever? Don't feel the need you have to, but if you have any, no, grand. Find the buzz, I think that they're absolutely the best. Just
Get the buzz off 5 or 6 pints down the local pub as well, Tom.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Wednesday night, you'll have done nothing for the club or the young lads.
Yeah, so there's a problem bringing the under 12s team to the pub for 5 pints.
If they're 14 or 15, to be honest. The Shandy.
Yeah, Shandy's good, man. Don't knock it. Don't knock it. Come here, listen. Just in terms of hurling and the impact, like, we were sort of so. Look, I've been very well qualified even sitting up here, but the rang my bell was the bit where the Kildare guy says I never had the opportunity. I was very lucky to have the opportunity, always an interest in it. I've always said I prefer hurling than football, but you grow up in a more football world and a football family that leads you towards that. We covered the people who probably be aware, covered the All-Ireland football and hurling stages at the latter stages over the last 5 years. Over the last 2 years, it's a 5-year contract. So we did the hurling the last 2 years. I commentated in the hurling last year for BBC.
Right next door to you.
You were next. I was sort of talking about it. I'm not informing you. It's like, the reason why I say it, I have done nothing in my life that has landed the impact of last year's All-Ireland hurling final. Absolutely nothing. We were very fortunate we were able to build a house just outside the town where I'm at, and in 40 years' time, and get the driveway tarmac, it'll be fucking lovely. Until then, so we've no letterbox in the house, and the reason why I mentioned that is because we were hoping to put gates on, put the letterbox up there, so we were having one. I had 22 handwritten letters the week after the All-Ireland hurling final. Some just Thomas Niblock, BBC commentator, County Daly, some of the new Maher felt but 2 of them had the actual address.
You didn't get to Pets Belay and bollocks one.
No, I didn't get that one. But for me, it was such a lovely acid test. And I mean, when I say a letter, some of them had a couple of pages. Watching the hurling final, watching it in England, maybe an expat, maybe not. Just the impact that they have. Shane O'Donnell we were staying in New York for 4 nights, and he was living with us. And we did a podcast with him, and he was exactly the same. He works for a British crowd was working. He thought he played a bit of a part-time sport, and then they see him. Just the impact that hurling has the ability to make, even maybe more than football, because it's so, if you see it for the first time, it is so, what is this? No pads or anything else. I'm not being patronising around it, but do you get that when you think just the absolute potential this has is something beyond the sport in broad Irish life and beyond?
I think so. And I might have said it to you, I connected with Thomas during the week, and I referenced an article that I found in the New York Times there, I can go back 6 months ago. Hurling is the greatest game you've never seen. And that's, again, fine for Americans, but we're in Ireland, this is our national sport. We're all absolutely kind of addicted, or like we're addicted, or addicts coming out of the All-Ireland last year going, this is magical. I get it. I suppose that's my reason and my motivation. Again, I spoke at the start about my love of the game and where I'm from and everything to do with that. But I want to, I suppose, drive this sport. I want to kind of give kids in that situation the opportunity to hold the game. I understand the importance of our game. I understand the importance of our culture. I understand the importance of the GAA as a whole. But again, I understand also that we have to start pushing for it. We have to start getting it on the agenda. And if that's as simple as getting 1 night a week as regards the fixture program, and that's another maybe a quick fix for us in a football area, that we have our 1 night, this is our night, this is when we hurl, and this is, I suppose, how we can make a difference. Look, there'll be a lot of communication needed. There's a lot of kind of planning to do. There's a huge amount of work to do. But look, I suppose I'm up for it. I'm up for the challenge. I'm optimistic about where we can take this, because we have the Hurling Development Committee through Terry Riley in Belfast as regards behind it. We've Anu Turan, Jarlath Burns behind it. So look, it's, I suppose, the proof is in the pudding now. Can we get this up and running in, I suppose, in a meaningful way? Look, time will tell.
Who's going to win the All-Ireland this year?
Jeez, Tom. Do you know, one of those things now I'd say that has really changed as well is, and Leinster hasn't quite been as good in the last couple of years, but maybe standards are level in there as well. When you look at the progress Carlow, you told the Carlow man 15 years ago he'd draw with Kilkenny in the Leinster Championship. So things with the Munster round robin has really been a game changer. And I mean, Cusack Park in Ennis, when I was 10, I dreamt of playing there. It could take that time about 26,000. Now it takes 22 because of health and safety. I just can't wait already for Clare and Cork in Ennis. I mean, what it does for the town alone. I mean, one of the things I need to go to is an Ulster football final in Clonus, I believe. That's just, and what I've seen, what Ennis is like on the days of the Limerick games, Cork games, it's magic. And I think, we're lucky. Football have tried different forms. I'd be confused during the year about group stages. Now I know it's probably going to be we'll all know in a while, hopefully. We have two kind of conferences. And I actually would agree with you. I'd love to see the Ulster Championship coming back. I know the work that goes on. I've gone to Ballycran 3 or 4 times in the last few years with friends up there. Kevin Blaney in particular, a great pal, and was so passionate. Like, and they'd love to be getting a crack at Antrim. And I know the Daly lads are as passionate. And look, I just think who's going to win the All-Ireland? I'd say I'd throw Kilkenny into the mix. They could have Clare beaten at half-time last year, possibly should. I would definitely always throw them into the mix. Munster is a minefield. If Clare lose that first match against Cork, which could easily, it's not between them, Cork are coming, they have to go down into Waterford following weekend. You know, so it could be blown wide open there. You do fancy there's another kick in Limerick, but I think Kylie and Kinnerk will have to reinvent things a little bit, starting off with Dickie Quaid not being available, starting off with Graham McCahey being gone. You know, Declan's not the captain anymore, but no better men in Ireland to fix things like that than those guys. So look, just can't wait on for the whole thing to kick off.
So it's definitely not going to be Clare, is what you've said there, pretty much, like, you know.
It's the Munster we're trying to win. We haven't won a Munster since 1998.
Jesus, as coy as ever. Listen, fantastic. Thank you for coming up to pair yous. Good luck on the Euro, all written behind you, and please God get the support required that you need. Good luck in everything else. We'll no doubt see you in the next few weeks down at Croke Park and everything else. Folks, round of applause please for the winners.